guys, so in this video tutorial I'm working with Photoshop and how to show you guys how to create
So in this video tutorial
I'm working with Photoshop.
This
and
will work
how
for
to
anything you're
show
doing,
you
whether
guys
it
how to
being a
create-
mug or a slate or anything. This will work the same. I'm just doing this for a case. So I already have my iPhone 6 case up, and this is my safe layer that I had created. I'm just going to hide that now. And then what we're going to start by doing is I already have a guide here, but we need more guides to make them even. So what I'm going to do is to go up here to View, and I'm going to, View, New Guide. Alright, so I already have a guide that's down the middle. Now I need one that's horizontal, and we're going to type in 50%. Okay? So that tells me the halfway mark, and actually that's probably not correct. So I'm going to, these guides, what they're going to do is I'm going to move them around to make them a little even. So I'm just going to do a guide that says, first of all, I'm going to move that to the top. I'm going to go to View, New Guide, and I'm going to try 20%. And then I'm going to do View, New Guide. I'm going to go with 80%. And based on the case, because it's oddness, we may have to adjust these. So to adjust the guides, just hold your mouse over it until you get the arrow up and down, and that's how you can move them. Okay. So I'm going to leave this guide about right there. Move this guide just a tad bit, maybe over. And sometimes it's easier just to move, if your guide locks into a certain position, just to move that. These all look pretty good to me. So I'm going to move that over. Okay, so the guides are important for a reason. I'm fixing to show you that. And this one is a little too big in the middle. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me for sizing. So the next thing we want to do is we want to take your rectangular marquee tool, and we are going to now cut out each section here to use for its own photo. So what you do is just drag your marquee tool over, left key and drag, and select it, and it should automatically lock to those guides. And then you're going to hit Control J for Windows. Okay. If you're using a Mac, let me see what that is. Hold on a minute. I have the keyboard setups for the Mac. Let me just find it. I know I had it somewhere. Oh, it's going to be in here. Images. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to open both of those up. So this one is for, that looks like that's for Windows, and this is for Mac. So when I say Control J, which is copy layer, it's going to be, looks like it's the same for, it's going to be probably Command J for the Mac. Okay. So anyways, I'll upload these command keys to the file section as photos for you guys to download and refer to yourselves. So that what that did here is go ahead and make that as a copy. Do you see? So we're going to continue on. You've got to make sure you select your bottom layer again, and we're going to do this side. And Control J. Click back on the bottom layer. We're going to do the center now. Control J. Do this side. Control J. Do this side. Control J. Do this side. Control J, and now we're going to do the last bottom two. Control J, and this one. And Control J. So we have all our individual layers. They're ready for images and layer masks. Okay. Now, if you're creating this as a template for yourself for future use, I'm going to show you how to do that, and the easiest way to do that. So we're going to select the top layer, and I'm going to start adding pictures. The first thing you want to do is, so that you can add pictures and change it later, I would go File and Place your images. So let me go to where I'm working on this order. And I'd already done this once, but I decided to do it again because I made too much of a cuts in to show the black borders. So let me just see. So this picture is what I chose for him up there, and you can see it's really big, and that's okay. So just kind of size it down to wherever you need it, and the best thing to do is just get it as small as you can to fit up there, and then you can rearrange later. Alright, so now you're in there and you're like, Amy, why does it look like that? Well, that's because we got to make it a layer mask. So you hold your Alt key in between the image and that layer 2, and see how it just fits it right in there now. Okay, and you can drag it around and move it around to where he fits perfectly in there. So for future reference, what I would do, is I would name this as, I would say, if I was doing this as a template for sale, I would say right click, replace image as an instruction for whoever you're selling it to or for yourself. And I would also name the bottom layer what image this was. So I would say top left image. Okay, so we're going to continue doing that and until we get them all done. So again, we're going to go File, Place, another image, and I think on that one I use that one. So we're going to scale it down proportionately. Hold your Shift key while dragging in from the corners. Then hit Enter. Hold your Alt key for Windows and click in between the image and the layer 3. And we're going to name that, right click. And you can copy and paste this one if you wanted to. Just double click in there to highlight it. Control C to copy, double click to highlight, backspace, and Control V. Okay, they can have the same exact names. And then this one here, we're going to say top right image. Okay, and now we're going to do the next image. Now I'm going to resize this to where I want it. In there. Okay, and if I wanted to make him a little bigger, I can. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to go back down here to the next one, which I'm going to name top center, top middle, left image. Okay, now I'm going to go File, Place, and I chose that one last time, so I'm trying to keep this all the same because I already got an approval on this. I'm going to go hold down your Alt key, click in between the image and that top middle left layer, alright, and then double click on that, Control C to copy it, double click on that image, Control V to paste those instructions. Okay, you don't have to do all that, but if you want to create this template for yourself to use again, you don't want to come in here and go, what if it's a month later that you need to create another one and you don't want to be lost on what you're supposed to do in your own template. So when I create templates, I create them as if I'm creating them from somebody that's buying it for me, so that when I go back into it later, I know I have instructions for myself on what to do within the template. Okay, so this one is going to be top, middle, right image, and we're going to go file, place again, and that one was of them. And again, to proportionately scale down the image, shift and drag from the corners, and again until you get to the size you want, hit enter. We're going to mask it now, so alt, click, okay, adjust the image where you want it, okay, and then we want to copy the instructions, so do it from one of the other layers and put it in there. Alright, so we only got a few more images left, so this is going to be bottom, middle, left image. I'm going to go file, place, and that was the image I had in there. Hold down your shift key and drag from the corner, okay, hit enter, hold down your alt key, click in between the image and that bottom middle left layer to mask it. Oops, didn't mean to move that. You know, and to keep yourself from accidentally moving the bottom absolute layer, come down here and just lock it. So you click on it and click that lock key and it won't move on you again. Now we're going to put this where we want it. Probably could even resize it. Okay, so now we want to name that so we know what to do with that later. Okay, this is going to be bottom, oops, double click in there, bottom, oops, bottom, middle, right image. Sorry about the dog. And I don't think I got this last image down here, so let me go ahead and create that real quick. Now what happened? I'm going to say Control J. Oops. Control J. There we go. Now lock that. Alright, so I skipped doing that bottom left one. I kind of got ahead of myself. So again, now we want to place layer, file, place. And that was this color, this image. And we're going to do that. Get him in there. Hit enter. Alt, click between the two layers. And if you need to size it down just a little more, you can do that. Use your arrow keys to move the image around more efficiently. Then hit enter. And we're going to rename that. Oops. Okay. And then this one's going to be bottom, bottom left image. I'm going to name this one now, bottom right image. Okay. So, oops, I spelled that. So now I'm going to click on that bottom left image and we're going to place the last two images here. So I'm going to go file, place, and it was that one. And get them in there. Hit Alt and click between the two layers and adjust it how you want it. Okay. And then you're going to rename that to the right click, replace image. Okay. And now we're going to do the last image. So we're going to go file, place. Oops. And I believe it's going to be this one. And again, for those that are just joining, if you click the shift key and drag from the corners, that'll proportionately resize the image without distorting it. Hit enter. Then to mask it between that black slice layer and this, to make it fit, you hit Alt and click between the two layers right over here. Okay, and then you can adjust it around. And again, for those that are just joining, we're creating this template, and we're making it to where as if you're going to sell it, so that if that way in the future you're giving yourself written instructions on how to use this template. And basically, what the right-click replace images, to place all the images, we did file place. But now when you come back to any of these and you do right-click and you do replace contents. Okay, so my words were wrong, my bad. Contents. So it's right-click, replace contents. No problem. I'm just going to go ahead and rename them all that now. Okay. Alright, so it's right click, replace content. So say you wanted to replace this top layer, you go right click, replace contents, and you can choose another image. Okay, and that's when you just resize it and do what you want to it. But that's how you go and replace your images for future, when you want to reuse this template later. For now I'm going to step backwards because I want that image in there. Alright, so that's how you have your template. If you like it exactly like this, then you're pretty much done. You'll want to save it as a PSD file, but if you like to have a little bit of a black border behind it, the next step is going to be to draw a little bit of a horizontal line. This is how I do it. Okay. I didn't write it down all the way. Sorry about that. Just, you make it as, it's going to let you go to about right there before it stops on you. So what I do is I line that up in the center, okay, and then I count how many times I'm going to go to the right. We're going to start all to the right, the right images to cut a little, slice a little piece of the image out. So we're going to, I'm going to count it 1, 2, 3 times, okay. So 3 clicks to the right by clicking your arrow button, and now I'm going to start from the bottom and move my way up. So I'm going to hit the bottom, and I'm going to hit delete, go to the next one, delete. Oh no, we don't want to do the left side, so you're going to do all the right images. So right, delete, go up here to another right image, delete, go up here to another right image, and delete.
I need to know how
the
big
top.
it is measurement-wise.
Yes, it was. Alright, so now we need to move that left. You want to center on the center again, and now you want to count 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. So it's even. Now we're going to do all the right. So, or all the left, I'm sorry. So we're going to do bottom left, hit delete, click on it, and then go bottom left image, delete, bottom, top, middle left, sorry, delete, and then we need the top left image and delete. So we've got it going all the way down in the center. Next, we're going to do all these in between. Okay? So now I'm going to line it up right there to where I can't see my green line, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 down, and I'm going to go start with the bottom. I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to go all the way up to the next line. Oh, wait a minute. Oops. Let's step backwards. Alright, now we need to go to the left one and hit delete. Alright. Now we're going to, where we can't see the green again of the guide, I'm going to count up 3 times, 3 clicks with the arrow, 1, 2, 3. I hope you guys are understanding that. And I'm going to hit delete. Oh, that didn't work right. Okay, hold on. Yes, there. So now we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright, now go these ones. Delete. There we go. We gotta go to those top layers. Delete. Sorry. Alright, so now, and I actually still don't like how much space is in between there. I think it's too much, so I'm going to come back and count less. I want to see it without the guides now. Oh, actually it looks fine. Okay, so I'm going to go back, view guides, extras, turn them back on. So to turn your guides off, you would just go to view up here, extras, and that's how you turn it back on. So I'm going to go actually edit, step forward, and step forward. Oops, edit, step forward, edit, step forward, step forward, step forward, step forward, step forward. Alright, so I'm going to leave it like that. I do like it. So I'm going to start with the bottom. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to hit delete and delete. And then I'm going to align that to where I can't see the green and go up 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to hit delete and delete. Oh, nope. It deleted the wrong one. It didn't delete it at top. So you got to make sure you're choosing the correct layer. So on this one, should be that one. No. Should be that one. Delete. It is. See, it's deleting from the top and the bottom. So we need to go up, delete. Now to do the very last ones. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it should be that same layer. Delete, and it is. And delete. Alright. Now we want to move it up. Cover it. Now with the bottom. 1, 2, 3. And you guys can experiment and play with this yourself. I'm just giving you an idea of how I do it. I'm sure there's a better way, but this is the way I do it. And so now you have even, and I'm gonna, oh, my Photoshop just crashed on me. Hopefully it saved. Let's see if it did. A wonderful world of crashing. Hopefully it's going to open it right back up with most everything we had already in there. And it did. Okay, so I just have to go back now, unfortunately, and it looks like start over, which is fine because we know how many clicks we counted. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I believe it's going to be the middle images we're going to want to delete. So delete, delete. One, two, three. Nope. I went the wrong way. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wrong way. 1, 2, 3. Delete. Oh, wrong image. Otherwise you're getting extra cut. So it's got to be top now. There we go. And delete. Okay, so let me explain this just so you guys know. So I have a rectangle here, and I'm taking the top and lining it up exactly over the green guide, okay, to where I can't see the green guide. So let's just zoom in real quick for you guys to see. Oops, let's step backwards. Alright, so I'm pretty much covered the green guide, or now I am. I guess I should have zoomed in all along. And I'm going to count, I'm covering it with the top portion of my horizontal box. Now I'm going to count down 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually, I'm with the bottom, I'm sorry, because we're going to do the bottom first. So now I'm going to cut down. You're going to cover it with the bottom of your horizontal box and where you can't see the green guide, and you're going to move your arrow key down 3 times. 1, 2, 3. You want to make sure you have this top middle layer selected. It could be left or right, and I do, and I'm going to hit delete now. Okay, so now we need to go to top middle right and hit delete. Now we're going to do the same thing for right above it, but now we're going to take the top and cover the horizontal guide layer, and we're going to count up 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3 with your arrow key going up. And now we're going to make sure we click on the top 2 layers, and we're going to hit delete. And same for that one, delete. And I think that worked. It did. It got rid of. So it got rid of even space above and below. Actually, I don't have enough space on that one, so let's see what I did wrong here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Delete. Delete. I'm just going back and okay, so now we have even space all the way between, and that's pretty much how I do it, to make sure that you have a nice even space in between all of them. Now, it does look like some of my space is a little more between the top and these other 2, so, and that's because I zoomed in, probably using a different angle. So what I'm going to do is just keep adding a little more off until I get it right. So that probably looks about right, so I'm going to go with the top and hit delete. Actually, I want to go down one more. Okay, now I'm going to hit delete and delete. You can always take off a little more. It's hard to take off. It's hard to add it back though. So now we look even. There we go. Good even space in between. So honestly, this only takes me about 5 minutes to do, guys. But it took me a little longer trying to make sure I explain all my steps for you guys. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you learned something. And we're going to start doing these for you guys more on the daily. Hopefully Stan will have a video for you guys next. Thanks for watching.